In the news this morning, we've all been touched by cancer in one way or another. Tonight, you can help in the local push to find a cure.
Plus, new details about what caused a building to partially collapse, leaving 3 people dead in Davenport, Iowa.
And we're talking about a cool morning, but a nice warm up in store. A lot of sunshine heading into the weekend. Also, the possibility of a little bit of rain, much needed rain in the forecast. Details are coming up.
Live from your local news leader, this is KTTC News.
The community of Blooming Prairie is coming together to help raise money in the fight against cancer. Good morning. I'm Jess Abrahamson.
And I'm Darian Letty, in for Kelsey Marrier. Starting tonight, Blooming Prairie Cancer Group is hosting its 22nd annual auction. Back in 2001, the original founder was inspired to create a group in her community after she saw the impact of the Eagles Cancer Telethon. That's an event that we've helped put on for nearly 70 years. The first year, the Blooming Prairie Group raised around $1,700. Today, more than 20 years later, they've raised more than $1 million. This weekend is their biggest fundraiser of the year. The auction starts at 7 tonight under the big tent outside the Q Company. It starts back up on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. with family bingo, and the auction's starting back up at 7. There's also raffle tickets and t-shirts available. In addition to raising money for the telethon and the Hormel Institute, they've also created a community fund. That's money that's going directly to people in the Blooming Prairie area who are battling cancer.
We help with gas cards, driving to and from appointments. We help with parking passes. We have helped before build a wheelchair ramp for a lady who needed a wheelchair. You know, just anything we can to help that insurance won't help.
And this site right here is the field of flags for this year's Paint the Town Pink. It's along Highway 218. Last month, the volleyball and football teams in Blooming Prairie came to help put all of those flags up. Each flag is flown in honor of someone who has had the disease. What a beautiful, beautiful sight.
Yeah, great tribute there. Such an important event. And Ted says the weather, when we're looking at tonight and tomorrow, is looking pretty good for this.
It looks fantastic. Yeah, it's going to be a very seasonable outlook. So in other words, typical temperatures for this time of the year. Afternoon will be a little warmer than the past couple of days have been. Extra sunshine will help the cause. Right now, stratus clouds have begun to develop. That's just happened in the past 10 or 15 minutes. We've been watching those slowly develop along the horizon. Now, some of those clouds are starting to surround our camera aloft. Now, at ground level, I will say this is completely clear, but from this vantage point, we've begun to see a little bit of that fog or stratus cloud cover developing. That's the current view. We're looking southward with our Lewiston auto camera right now here at the studio. It's actually clear looking upward. I can see some of those thin clouds, but you can see the moonlight, some stars overhead as well. The wind is calm. It's 52 here at the studio, dew point 49. Across the map, mainly clear. There were some spotty showers in parts of North Iowa. They have now moved out. Some low 50s are going out there temperature-wise. Otherwise, where it's been clear for several hours, it's mainly 40-something. Rochester 49 at the airport, 48 in Albert Lee, and 46 in Dodge Center. And visibility, we're checking that because there are some patches of fog developing, nothing too problematic, though it has gotten rather foggy in Red Wing in the past half hour, less than a mile current visibility there. Showers moving out. We'll have increasing sunshine. The fog will lift between 7 and 8 o'clock this morning. We have a day filled with sun beyond that. But the bus stop forecast does feature the possibility of a little bit of fog at first, a few clouds. 47 on the way to school, so you'll need that jacket. It's definitely a chilly morning. On the way home, you likely won't need the jacket. A light breeze, plenty of sunshine. 74 on the way home. The outlook for today, looking at all that beautiful sunshine, a light breeze. 74 for the high temperature. The evening still features clear skies, light winds, and readings in the upper 60s for Friday Night Football. So great looking weather all around today.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. Thank you, Ted.
You bet.
This morning, we are learning that Iowa's public university campuses just aren't as crowded as they once were.
All 3 public universities have seen a downward trend in enrollment over the last decade. This follows a national trend which saw a 15% decline in total college enrollment across the country. Since 2017, the University of Iowa, Iowa State, and the University of Northern Iowa are down a staggering number of students, anywhere between 2,000 and 6,000. UNI did report a slight uptick in enrollment this fall, but many students say college doesn't hold the same appeal because of the pandemic and rising tuition.
As it climbs higher, that is a real barrier to access for a lot of people, especially if they don't offer enough scholarships, or it's hard to find those scholarships that will help you get to where you need to go.
In-state tuition for Iowa Regents universities went up about 3.5% this year, equating to about $300. In an effort to attract more students, colleges like UNI have found success with transfers. They've made it easier for community college grads to earn a bachelor's degree. That program has seen a 40% increase in enrollment.
An update this morning on the deadly partial building collapse earlier this year in Davenport. We're now learning what caused it to fall. A report released by officials is blaming an improper understanding of a structural bearing wall, inadequate oversight of repairs, and a history of improper maintenance. The city hired engineering companies within days of the partial collapse in late May. The collapse has led to numerous lawsuits filed by residents against the building owner, engineering company, city, and others. The building owner has also filed a lawsuit, the engineering company, against them for not warning the complex was structurally unsound. A month after wildfires in Hawaii began, officials in Maui are still working their way through a list of the missing. It's grown almost as quickly as names have been removed from it. The wildfires killed at least 115 people. Government officials have pledged support as thousands of people have been put in hotels and elsewhere as they await clearance to visit and inspect where their homes once stood.
Some days are easier, some days are harder. It's not something that anybody can be perfectly prepared for, but we just have to understand that we're in a position to step up into the role that we've been chosen for, and we have to be there for our community. It's day by day, and we're going to be good. We're going to be okay.
Fire officials say the gravity of what happened during the fires really just still hasn't sunk in.
Sentencing is set for January 12th after a jury returned a guilty verdict in the criminal contempt case against Peter Navarro. The former Trump White House trade advisor was charged with 2 counts related to his failure to comply with demands for documents and requests for testimony from the House committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot. Navarro's attorneys made a motion for a mistrial in court, claiming the jury was exposed to protesters outside of the courthouse during a break.
A local fire department has some state funds coming their way. The Rushford Fire Department is getting a $2,000 grant. This is through the Minnesota Energy Resources Rewarding Officers Grant Program. 4 other departments in the state received the $2,000 grant. Rushford Fire Department is going to use the money to buy new battery-powered extrication equipment. Minnesota Energy Resources has donated more than $95,000 through its grant program.
Tomorrow, you can spend time enjoying the great outdoors with the latest free state parks day. The Minnesota DNR will once again be waiving vehicle permit fees at all 75 state parks. The goal is to encourage families to spend time exploring all the natural resources Minnesota has to offer and recharge from the stresses of everyday life. The DNR says most Minnesotans live within 30 miles of one of these recreation areas. The final fee-free day for 2023 will be on Friday, November 24th. Great day to get out and enjoy that weather, Jess.
Yeah, I know we both enjoy Whitewater State Park.
Yes.
Carly's great, and Frontenac is lovely. Ted, so many options to be talking about.
Yeah, good weather to explore some of those things. We have a little bit of fog to deal with in a couple spots first thing this morning. Otherwise, a lot of sunshine moving forward, and there will be some much needed rain beyond the sun over the weekend time frame. We'll talk about all of those details in our 7-day forecast after the break, so stick around.
Kelly needs new floors, so she went to the
It's Football Friday, and our Midwest Access team has been having fun with many of our local schools. Cami Raisler is in Stewartville with what you can expect there this afternoon.
Hey, yes, it's time again for another Midwest tailgate. It's something we're doing new this year, and tonight we will be in Stewartville. You can join us from 4 to 5 live in Stewartville, a big 3A, 4A matchup, Stewartville taking on Cass and Manorville tonight. We look forward to that, and Midwest Tailgate will be running through mid-October, so we will be at different fields tailgating before the big game throughout the season, different schools in our region. So it's something new we're trying, and we are having so much fun. We'll have good food. We'll show you some of the best pickup trucks to tailgate in for all your tailgating needs. And we'll be chatting with coaches, players, cheerleaders, fans, and anyone who wants to come out and join us for the big tailgate. Again, we'll be live in Stewartville tonight. You can join us on Midwest Access, a Midwest tailgate version of Midwest Access tonight, this afternoon from 4 to 5. I'll send it back to you.
Here's your first alert weather with meteorologist Ted Schmidt.
Great looking weather picture as we approach the weekend. Right now we're looking at the prospect of some mild sunshine. But first we have to get through a chilly morning and a little bit of fog that has just begun to develop. That's going to be a thing going on for another couple of hours. A minor hiccup in our weather picture. We have a little bit of cloud cover here in Rochester. Look at that upper left-hand panel in our array of Lewis Auto cameras. Now that's not to say it's that foggy at ground level, but that's a layer of stratus clouds that have developed. You see some of that steam also in the distance from some of the physical plants from in Rochester, and some of the stratus clouds also that have begun to develop. And you can see some of this around the area developing in the cool morning with temperatures falling toward the dew point level and very light winds. So we have that visibility concern in just a few spots. Visibility not an issue around Rochester unless you're about 80 feet off the ground. That's what's going on right now surrounding our live camera. Some of that cloud cover developing stratus clouds. Fog at ground level though in Red Wing, 3/4 of a mile there. Most other spots so far so good. There were some spotty showers. They moved out. The clouds giving it away to some starlight and some sunshine this morning. We were in the 60s yesterday, barely in the 60s, low 60s all afternoon long with a high temperature of only 62 officially in Rochester. Right now it's 49 with clear skies over the Med City. We've begun to see just some of those stratus clouds developing, and they'll hold on for a couple of hours. First thing this morning, a little cooler yet to the west. Dodge Center 46 is 45 in Owatonna, Mason City 51. Looking at some starlight overhead, some sunshine also showing up, and some of those clouds here and there around the area. But 49 officially in Rochester, a light northwest breeze, and it does feel like 47, just cool enough that we can calculate a wind chill index, but it is not a concern as the winds are only 5 miles per hour. They'll be in that range pretty much all day. Moving forward, the clouds will move out, and we have plenty of sunshine in store. Not many to be seen here across the upper Mississippi Valley, but we are tracking a cold front that's going to come in. That'll bring a chance of rain tomorrow evening and for parts of Sunday. But ahead of it, the warmth is going to build. Today, with extra sunshine, we're talking 70s, something we did not do yesterday. We haven't done it in a couple of days. But 70s, that's typical for this time of the year. We'll be in that range today and tomorrow. There'll be some rain chances coming in tomorrow evening, parts of Sunday, and then next week looking bright and seasonal. In other words, 60s, low 70s, kind of what you expect for September. But right now, future track, we have a little bit of fog here, just a couple of spots, a patchwork of cloud cover as well. But moving into the mid-morning hours, all of that will be out of here. By afternoon, it's all sunshine, a light north breeze. Daytime temperatures mid-70s. This evening, if you're thinking Friday Night Football, looks terrific. We have temperatures in the upper 60s, very little wind, clear skies. Tomorrow, we start the day with 50s in the morning, then right around 80 in the afternoon. A lot of sunshine, but the clouds thicken late in the afternoon. There's a chance of maybe a shower or a thunderstorm. About 4:30, 5 o'clock, the first of those showers move in. Most of it happening in the evening time frame from 6 to midnight. By Sunday morning, showers move out for a time, but it does look like there's a chance of redeveloping very sparse shower chances Sunday afternoon. Rain chances tomorrow, very isolated at first, just a stray shower or two after 4:30 or 5. Better chances after 7 o'clock into the evening hours and overnight into the wee hours of Sunday. So showers very early or pre-dawn Sunday, then to begin very sparse showers Sunday afternoon. In between, some breaks of sunshine. Next week looks dry and fairly, well, fall-like, we'll say, mild, 60s and 70s. But right around 80 tomorrow is a stray shower or thunderstorm in the evening. But during the day, some sun and then increasing clouds. 79 Rochester, 80 in Albert Lea. On Sunday, low 70s, which is a couple degrees cooler than the seasonal average. Today, right on par with what we expect. A cloud or two at first, then mostly sunny in the afternoon. 74, light north winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mainly clear, 52, and light southeast winds. The 7-day forecast, we have a great looking stretch of fall temperatures. Some of those days a little cooler than average, but we are going to make some of that up, I think, in the longer term. I do think the end of next week looks maybe a little warmer, but yeah, overall, some good fall weather. And if we were talking leading into this about tailgating weather, football weather, it is just about ideal today especially, and about 3/4 of tomorrow looking sensational with quiet and pleasant outdoor weather.
Yeah, get out your hot dogs and your brats and enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks,
oh yeah,
Ted.
it's football season. Well, it is 6:17 this morning. We have a roundup of local high school sports to tell you about, including Byron football, Century volleyball, and Mayo boys soccer. We've got everything you need to know next in sports. And remember, you can always get KTTC updates on the go. Just download the free KTTC app to your smartphone for the latest news, weather, and sports.
Good morning, friends. I'm Julian Mitchell. We get started locally with a recap of a great night of high school sports action. Starting on the pitch, 9th-ranked Mayo took on Mankato West and got its 5th straight win, 4-1. Marco Haslam with the goal here. Mayo will take on Red Wing on the road next Tuesday. We're on the volleyball court. Century hosted Winona in a Big 9 matchup. Panthers got the sweep, 3-0 in this one. Century is now 6-2 on the year. Will face Mankato East next Thursday. Lastly, in the pool, it's right in the pool, Mayo took on Winona. Great race in the women's 100 free. Mayo's Karina Tan took first and set a pool record, a time of 58.16. To high school football now, some great matchups coming up tonight. One to look for, the Byron Bears taking on Benilde St. Margaret's. Bears are coming off a strong Week 1 win, taking out St. Paul Como Park 68-0 on the road. According to head coach Ben Halder, the team racked up over 400 yards of offense, forced 7 turnovers, and had 2 defensive TDs. Benilde won Week 1 as well, 47-0 at home against Columbia Heights. The game's also special. The Bears have its first varsity game on the new field. Here's Coach Halder about this home opener under the lights.
This week is going to be a challenge. Benilde's really good, really athletic on the perimeter, physical up front. We'll have our hands full, but you know, our kids are excited, and like you said, with the new stadium and all the excitement around that, I think there'll be a little added excitement with our kids, so we'll have to keep them in check a little bit and not too ahead of themselves. So yeah, it's exciting.
Lastly, football is officially back in the NFL, and what a way to start the year. Detroit Lions taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll pick it up fourth quarter of this one. KC up 20-14, but Lions are in the red zone. 2nd and 4, handoff to David Montgomery. Detroit's strength is the O-line, and it shows. Big hole, he'll score. Detroit jumps in front, 21-20. 2:10 to play. Patrick Mahomes with the ball in his hands, but it's 4th and 25. He escapes the pocket, buys some time, fires. That's just out of reach. Turnover on downs, drops a big storyline in this game. A couple first downs later, it's the Detroit Lions knocking off the defending champs, 21-20. What a way to start the year. As for that Byron game, Nick and I will have that one and a whole lot more highlights tonight on Sports Extra tonight at 10 p.m. For now, that is a look at sports. It's a good day. Have a great day.
KTTC Sports brought to you.
Jimmy Fallon has apologized to his staff over allegations of a difficult work environment at The Tonight Show.
The allegations were first published by a story by Rolling Stone Thursday. The magazine cites 16 unnamed current and former employees who described a difficult work environment on the show, some saying it was detrimental to their mental health. In a follow-up, the magazine says Fallon apologized to staff during a Zoom call after the original story was published. According to Rolling Stone, Fallon says he wants the show to be a fun and environment and it should be inclusive to everybody. In a statement, NBC told Rolling Stone the network encourages employees to report their concerns.
That 70s show star Danny Masterson will be spending 30 years behind bars. He was sentenced Thursday for raping 2 women more than 2 decades ago at his Hollywood Hills home. The once popular sitcom star was convicted 4 months ago on 2 of the 3 rape charges he was facing. The 47-year-old was sentenced to 15 years to life for both convictions to be served consecutively. Prosecutors say the sentence is justice for the women he was accused of raping in the early 2000s.
Mark Anthony has unwrapped an early birthday present in the heart of Hollywood. The Hollywood Walk of Fame star honoring his recording career. Over his decades in the music industry, Anthony has had more than 50 Billboard #1 hits and won 4 Grammys and 9 Latin Grammys. The ceremony comes days before Anthony's 55th birthday and included a surprise visit from his friend David Beckham.
Oh,
cool there.
Yeah, he's a big star. That's pretty great.
All right, it is 6:26. Small acts can make a big impact when communities come together.
And today, people in Rochester are working together to clean up downtown, one piece of trash at a time. You can get involved too. We'll tell you all about that coming up.
Your moments, your view, your life. The strength of fiberglass.
Making headlines this morning, looking into a proposed extension of a half-cent city sales tax that'll be on the ballot for Rochester voters in November. We'll hear from community leaders.
Plus, driver's licenses for all that's getting underway in Minnesota. What you need to know if you need a license.
Fog in the area right now, and we're looking at a bright and pleasant day, though, for the most part. The weekend will feature some mild sunshine and a little bit of rain. The details in your forecast are straight ahead.
Live from your local news leader, this is KTTC News.
Election Day is just under 2 months away, and a big ticket item residents will be voting on is the referendum for Rochester's long-running sales tax. Good morning, I'm Darian Letty in for Kelsey Marrier.
And I'm Jess Abrahamson. Good morning. Several organizations met at RCTC to break down what this tax would mean for the community. A group of panelists, including members of the Rochester Area Chamber of Commerce, the City Council, and City Administration, talked about how much money the sales tax would raise, plus how much would go toward each of the 4 projects highlighted. The local option sales tax is a 5-cent tax on every